Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Happy to have you here today with us. It's Tuesday, August the 3rd, here in Ireland. And as usual, 7:15, 7:15. So, good to have you all with us today. Hey, Don, how are you, my friend? Missing you. Don is already here. Good. I hope you're okay, my friend. So, Wanderley and I are here to keep going on our study for the chapter 8 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. And today we will talk about item 18. And this is a very good topic, something Wanderley likes to talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's full of knowledge, wisdom, and teachings for everyone. So before we start, let's do our initial prayer. And Wanderley, do you mind to do the initial prayer and
no, just to hear the music. Sorry. Just 1 second, Stevan. I'm just typing here something in my computer. And I do the initial prayer, guys, because I like to have some music here in the background. Okay, guys. So, let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Being thankful for another opportunity to be talking and understanding and learning the Spiritism teachings. Let's be thankful for the opportunity to be among friends, with people who wants to know more about the relationship between the material and the spiritual world. People who want to understand and learn more about the loving God. Let's be thankful for the mentors that we have who are guiding us. Let's be thankful for the good spirits who are supporting us in our personal life, in our struggles, in the challenge that perhaps no one sees that we are going through. But these spirits are there with us, trying to lift up our spirits, trying to send to us good vibrations in order that we can choose in the best way possible. Let's be thankful for the lives that we have, because this life, although can be difficult sometimes, is the instrument which God has given to us in order to progress, in order for ourselves to search for love, and also to search for the truth. Thank God, and so be it. Okay. Okay, guys, I think Stevan is...
Yeah. So, hello here, Anna. Good to have you here, my dear. I hope everything okay in South Africa. Okay, Wanderley. Throw the first stone. Come in.
Let's do it. Okay, guys, so we are here in the Gospel according to Spiritism. We are studying the chapter 8, as Stevan said, Blessed are the pure in heart. And here in the item 18, we have, let the little children come to me. Some people, when they read this, perhaps they are understanding that Jesus was saying, let the children, the small small human beings that we call children, come to me. And perhaps there is a deeper meaning on this saying of Jesus. Jesus here, according to the spirits, is trying to actually say that the children are those ones who are still learning, those ones who are still making mistakes. So Jesus tried to make us smaller, like children, in order to say that we, who are still in this learning process throughout reincarnations and are still developing our free will, we are the children. So all of us in humanity are the children because we are in all this process. But once he says this, he's like more like a loving father, like an old uncle who says, "Hey, come here, little one." He's like an old brother, who says to us, who tries to comfort us. Come to me, you who are still in this process, and I'm going to support you. So here, in this part of the gospel, we understand that Jesus is trying to reach everyone who are at least trying to change their habits. And here, when we say here, the spirits, they say to us that that nowadays we shouldn't be the spirits like the children who are only believing that our religion or our beliefs or our God, doesn't matter which kind of God we perceive, or doesn't matter which kind of religion we are following, it's not something mechanical. He's bringing to us the sense, okay, we are the children, we are the little ones, but now the time of knowledge has come to us. It's lifting up the veil. So he says to us here that now men should follow the intelligence and laws of the universality. So saying to us that nowadays we have a lot of knowledge, we have to try to follow this science, which is trying to enlighten our new ways of thinking. So the spirits, they are trying to say to us here, and actually just to make sure, just to clarify, guys, we are talking here about John the Evangelist, okay, who was the youngest apostle, who was with Jesus' mother at the crucifixion. And here he's saying to us that a lot of the parables that we have in the gospel, now with the help of the spirits, they will be understood, like this one that we are talking about. Blessed are the children, blessed are the pure in heart, and let the children come to me. And this saying, we have a parable of Jesus using a figure of speech. And here, John the Evangelist is trying to open up our ways of understanding it. So the spirits that are coming here in the Gospel according to Spiritism and the Spirit's book in the Audio Codification, they are trying to bring this sense to us. Jesus told everything that we must to know, but he said in the way that humanity was ready to receive it. Now, with the help of science and the good spirits who are coming to incarnate here and bring this new knowledge to us, we can understand better. That's why he said here in the, going back to the beginning, where is it? That once we are in this infancy stage, we are still developing our free will. That's why he makes this comparison. But guys, according to Emmanuel, there are no spirits on earth who have been recently created by God. So all the spirits who are incarnating on earth and who have been reincarnating at least in the last 100 or 200 years are spirits with a lot of reincarnation background, who reincarnated several times on earth already. So we are not in this infancy stage anymore. But then the hardest question that we have to ask here ourselves is this: do you, Stevan, do I want to leave this infants behind? Because it's much easier for us to say, oh, I still don't know things. I still like a children, like a little one, like Jesus said here. So it means I have less responsibility. But we are not in this stage anymore. That's why the spirits, they say to us here with John the Evangelist that everything will be explained to us. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Stevan?
Well, I want to start saying here there is a Egyptian quote saying, when you have a pure heart, everything is pure.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what is saying here? The analogy here Jesus used is to show us we need to be pure as a child. We don't have to have that kind of second intention. No. So, and when we have a pure heart, everything we do is pure. So even though we make a mistake, if you do a mistake, but you are not doing, you are doing a mistake, happy days, fine. Let's learn the lesson, return the next incarnation, and do it right. Like we are teaching a lesson to a child. So I like one part here when John the Evangelist says Jesus wanted people to come to him with the trust of those little beings of wavering steps.
Yep.
So, how many of us, who, let's say, if you are religion, you say, "Oh, I do believe in religion. I'm religious? I do," but you just say this from your mouth. You don't live that experience. You don't really trust. You don't really donate 100% of yourself. Okay, and of course there are those part of the population they don't believe at all. Fine, but for those who try to do the effort in order to do things right, how far you have done, how far you are able to really put something and say, okay, I cannot sort this, I could reach up to this moment here, that is nothing I can do, and now it's in your hands. So at the end here is more about attitude than trust or than questioning. Is attitude. What's your attitudes? Like a child, they don't lie. Of course, we're saying a child up to 7 years old, because after this they start to learn tricks like I have here at home, and and things things are changing here, But again, I told you when I know that story. I have a friend, and he wanted to go to a park. He was in the USA, like in one of these thematic parks, and he wants to go to ride that I don't know if it was roller coaster, or he wanted to ride something, okay? But his child was 6 years old, and it was only allowed to go 7 years old. And if she cannot go, he needs to stay with her, and he will miss the opportunity to go to that, let's call roller coaster. So all the time, when they are walking to the queue, and while they were in the queue to get in the roller coaster, they were playing. Okay, how old are you? 7. How old are you? 7. How old are you? 7. And my friend was always asking, how old are you? And she's replying, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Oh. And then reach time, and they were in the entrance, and the guy of the gate looked to her and said, hey, how old are you? 6. And my friend couldn't ride the roller coaster. But that's the point, This is what we are saying. She didn't say 6 just because, I want to say 6 because I don't want to go and my dad will be here with me. No, she was just innocent. She just said the truth. And I'm so sorry to say, but I don't see this kind of truth in many people. In many people. Recently, I know my wife was telling me that one of these contestants of the Big Brother, this show, that lady, she won the Big Brother in Brazil 2-3 months ago, something like this. And she was complaining because she doesn't have her life back. She cannot go to the beach without someone bother her. She cannot go and walk in the shopping center without someone ask for an autograph or doing something. So, before, she was willing to be famous. Now she's famous. She cannot hang on for 2-3 months. Unfortunately, this is going to be a case. I hope not, but she's a strong candidate to be depressive because she doesn't know if someone will love her or will love her money. So the bottom line here is we need to be the same person in whichever circumstance we are facing. If you are facing difficulties, this shall pass. If you are facing happiness, this shall pass. If you are facing nothing, this shall pass as well. Okay, so.
No, Steve, thanks for that. But I just want to go back here. Once we go to the item 19, again, in this case here is the spirit, a protecting spirit. It doesn't say who he is or who she is, the spirit. But here he says to us, let your children come for me, because I have the milk which will strengthen the weak. And then he keeps saying here, let those who need consolation come to me. Let the ignorant come to me, so that I may enlighten them. So here it goes back to what Jesus used to do once he was on earth. Who was going to Jesus? The wise ones? Of course, there were some men who were wise who came to Jesus, such as, for example, Nicodemus, John of Arimathea, I don't know how his name pronounced in English properly. There were some men who came to Jesus who had some knowledge who came to him, but in general, who went to him? The poor, the suffering, the ignorant, so the little ones, as it says here, of society. And here, the Spirit has a beautiful phrase. It says to us, what's the supreme balsam, my friends, which possess such high virtue that it may be applied to all types of wounds and suffering by the heart, and heal them. So what's this supreme balsam which he's referring here? And the Spirit says it's love and charity. So the Spirit does not say, guys, the supreme balsam who can cure all these problems, who can help all those little ones of society is Spiritism, or the balsam for this is religion, or it's science, or it is or that. No, the spirits, they are so pure here. They are so out of our world because they don't care about religion, they don't care about color, they don't care about which country you're from, they don't care about this. Religion is something that we have here on earth, which spirits who are still who are still evolving needed in order to get in contact with God. But because higher evolved spirits, they don't need religion to get in contact with God or to think about God, because they don't have to believe in God. They know God exists. So what is the supreme remedy that they are talking about? It's nothing related to power. It's love and charity. So he says to us that if we have love and charity, we have this divine flame which can help us. So here the spirits are bringing us to this more spiritual sense of life. Don't worry too much about what you think or not. Don't worry too much about what you believe or not, but be in love one another and practice charity as much as you can. So he's bringing us to our sense, to our center here. The rest is good, but the rest are just tools. Spiritism is just another tool, like any other religion or philosophy. Spiritism is not the only way, okay? But the only way is love and charity.
Mm-hmm.
So the spirits, they are bringing us
Agreed.
to this. That's why Jesus said several times, I didn't come here to the healthy ones. I came to the sick ones. So I came to the little ones. So Jesus is bringing this sense to us that we must now start to understand things in order to progress, because Kardec explains to us in the Spirit's book, once the Spirit has more knowledge, it's easier for the Spirit to progress in its moral soul. Why? Because I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm taking this. I know why I'm believing on this or on that. I understand things. It's not a matter, do I believe in Spirit or not? With the help of the spirits, they bring to us an explanation of the life after death. So with this knowledge, it's easier for us to improve our moral soul. So that's why Jesus brought to us Spiritism as a tool. That's my personal belief now, okay, guys? As a way of reaching all the cold hearts. What I mean by cold hearts? Those ones who any other kind of religion or philosophy couldn't reach them inside, because they need some kind of logical sense. Like for me, that's why I'm in Spiritism, because Spiritism brings to, at least to me, some sense of explanation of things. So Spiritism comes to fit in this for this purpose here, And here, as it says here, that if you have love and charity, the worms, it cannot eat your feelings. If there is a hurricane, you're not going to lose what you have, because what you have is inside of you. Again, we go back to the parable of the flowers in the field. Do not put your treasures in bags. Do not put all your energy into material things, but put your energy in what is really matter, which is to love and to practice charity. And I believe that's one of the most beautiful parts of this part of the gospel here, of this chapter 8. Because again, I find if it was a spirit who, we see that in the Medium's book, some spirits, they pretend to be other spirits, but they're not, like, say, they pretend to be high evolved spirits in situations where they are not evolved spirits. So if I was this spirit, if I would just want to say that Spiritism is good, I would say, like church used to say to us, without the Spiritism, there is no salvation. I would have said that if I was an inferior spirit, or if this spirit was an inferior spirit. Like church said in the 19th century, without church, there is no salvation. But the spirits, they say, without love and without charity. And actually, that's in another part of the gospel. Paul of Tarsus says that to us as a spirit. Without charity and love, there is no salvation. So this is the only way, guys. There is no other way around.
Yeah. Love. We are saying here is love without second intention, love without thinking or saying, "Oh, you do this because I want that." It's not a bargain here. There is no exchange. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, please let us know. You are very quiet today. Just don't run and said hi to us. But it's good to remember that we need to make ourselves ready for any type of situation. Okay? If you're passing by a problem, you can, of course, pray to ease that problem. Of course you can. But remember that God or the superior spirits or the mother nature, they will not remove that problem you need to pass. However, they will send you good spirits that will help you to sort it out that problem, and you will have a feeling that, oh, I passed through that problem without any hassle. And this is what you need to yourself. This is the base of love and charity. Help your brother, help your sister without any intention. Just help. We are seeing now a lot of cases of people, unfortunately, they are losing their homes, they are losing their jobs, they are losing, even though children are become orphans because mom and dad and grandparents die because of COVID or any other disease, and children are alone. This is a moment in which we needed to unite ourselves. As Wanderley said, like Jesus came for the sick ones. We are the sick ones. Why we are the sick ones? Because while we still have in our hearts, pride, selfishness, let's keep
any
this.
Kind of
pride.
any kind of difficult, hard feeling.
Exactly. Or we are the sick ones because we cannot see, we cannot capture the message. So we are the sick ones. And again, what Wanderley well said, as we evolve, we will acquire new knowledge, and this knowledge will allow us to progress. Perfect. But we need to progress in, let's say, small steps. Small steps is better than long steps. Like, I don't know what you're asking for, what you need, what you request, but how far are you trying to get something and you don't get it? And always we see this like a child. If a child asks you, "Oh, I want a bicycle," and say no, they will cry. They will do why? Because they think they want that bicycle, and you don't give a bicycle, perhaps you live in a dangerous area and a lot of cars passing by, and you don't want your children be exposed to this kind of danger and cause problems in the future. This is the good spirits when they looking after ourselves. We ask many things, but we ask many things because we have this short-term vision instead of long-term vision. And this short-term vision allow us to grow, allow us to listen, know the words
The
no.
long-term,
Sorry?
the long-term vision. You said short-term.
No, the short-term vision allow us to listen the words no, the words wait, the words have patience, the words be calm, the words trust on me. So this is the short-term vision brings to us. That's why we need to pass by these moments, because we need those words. Unfortunately, we are low in the higher of evolution, but we will get it. And having these moments with you guys here, sharing these, it's wonderful, because we need to practice that. We need to talk this with our family. We need to understand what is our purpose of life. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? I'm not saying, oh, I want them to be comfortable, they have a house. No. What the legacy you will leave to your children. Legacy is different from
Heritage.
sorry?
Heritage.
Heritage, yes, is different. Heritage, we're talking about money, we're talking about assets, we're talking about all these comfort things. Of course, if you are in a position you can leave this to them, happy days. I'm not saying don't leave, but legacy is some beyond. Let me talk about the legacy of my dad's trustfulness, my dad's good deeds he used to, the legacy he taught me we need to be charitable. This perpetuate for many years, and this legacy will allow your kids to use the assets if you live in a right manner. Not we can see in the newspaper here, someone left billions and the son, daughters, and everything, they are still fighting for pennies. And what took like many years for someone to build an empire, they destroy it in years, in months. Rihanna saying here, the only thing I want for my children is to know God in all things. That's perfect. Yes, that's perfect. But do not forget, Rihanna, to say that God, God is the supreme intelligence. Even though they ask something, it's not because they don't get it. God didn't like it. God is punishing them. Teach them. We need to evaluate in which situation we are. What's the problems we are facing? If you're facing a problem, Okay, what the good things this problem brings to me, what the lesson I'll have to learn here. If these bring good things, same questions. Why I receive this? What this gonna bring to me? So being blessed, being thankful for every day, for every moment we have in our life. This is something we need to work in ourselves. And also, Wanderley, I like the item 20 when they says here, blessed are they whose eyes are closed.
Yeah.
So uh, we think, for example, we see someone who is blind, and the first thing we say, oh, poor guy, they don't want to see it. But have you ever stopped to talk to them, to really have a conversation with them? I'm not saying this happen 100% of the case, but most of the case. And they are completely fine. When I moved here to Ireland 12 years ago, I was amazed because I don't used to see many disabled people, especially blind people, doing alone. They living alone. They doing everything here. They teach. There is a government plan. They teach them how to live by themselves without asking for support from anybody. And the reality up the moment I was here is that person needs attention. That person needs always someone to be close because they are incapable of doing anything. And when I saw this here, this was a wake up call for me. So the point here is, blessed are those the eyes are closed because they can feel, they can still doing everything we want. Sometimes it's better understand this point of view than judge and say, oh, poor guy. Well, poor guy, in some cases, yes, but what? Talk to them, have a conversation. Rihanna saying here, I agree with you. It's the hard time that teach the most. Be thankful when God trusts you with opportunities to grow. And yes. Okay, Vanessa, I know you wanted to say something.
No, when we read here, blessed are those whose eyes are closed. Let's broaden up here and take the sense of what the spirits are trying to say to us. So here, whenever we have a physical issue or a mental issue, we always gonna see that, especially as like Stevan said, when you see someone on the streets, we think, oh, that person, maybe that person did something in a previous life. If that, I'm talking about the cases where the person was born that way, okay, guys? I'm not talking about the case when the person got blind or got lose their leg movements while they were doing something. Okay, let's talk about the cases where people they were born. Okay, so sometimes we think, especially us in the Spiritist movement, oh, that person probably did something before in the previous life, but we don't think in an opposite way. We don't think like this, especially us with the Spiritist teachings. Maybe that spirit chose or have asked to come with that physical or mental issue, because that spirit knows that if he sees, for example, okay, he may fail again in his reincarnation because of the eyesight, or that person has the ability to walk normally as we walk, and we take this as for granted. But André Luiz explained to us, and also Wanderley Pereira, that some spirits, they come in this life without having any mobility, because if they had mobility, they would kill themselves again. What I'm trying to say is, sometimes we see those people, and those people have asked to come with that disability in order to have time, okay? In order to, for the spirit, especially if it's a mental issue, to rethink about what he did. And he knows that with that mentality, 100%, maybe he would use his mentality for doing something bad again. Because it's not the body which is sick, it's the spirit. And the spirit understands, okay, I'm going to be asking this difficult right now because I don't know how to deal with this ability, like most of the people. So in order for me to pass this reincarnation without failing again, I do not want to have my eyesight, for example. That's why Jesus said before, if your eyes, they may cause scandal, they might cause trouble, take your eyes and throw them in the fire. What was Jesus saying? If that ability, even the most normal ability that we have, is creating any trouble to you, it's much better for you to don't have this physical or mental ability. It's much better for you to pass in this reincarnation with that issue in order to fail again, in order to commit the same mistakes that you have committed. So here the spirits are saying to us that all these mental or physical issues that we have, it's because the spirits probably have done something before. Yeah, it's true. But in this case, it's bringing this sense to us. Maybe the spirit chose to pass in this situation. And here, when you get in the item 21, a remark, the spirits, they say to us, when an affliction is not a consequence of acts of this life, then it must come from a cause of a previous life. That's what we are saying. So if that person has this problem, this mental or physical issue, it's because God is just, and we are always saying that all the time. That's why here we must be thankful for God every day, for life every day, even if we don't have. I'm going to be giving you an example. In the book Memoirs of a Suicide, Camilo Castelo Branco, who was a Portuguese writer, he became blind after his 40s, I think, or close to his 50s.
I think so, yeah. 40s, yeah. I think 40s.
Once he became blind, he starts to lose love for life because he couldn't go out anymore. As he mentions in the book, I could not see my beautiful Portugal, my beautiful port, or my beautiful Lisbon. I couldn't be walking around here. And he couldn't see his mom's face anymore. He couldn't see his friend's face anymore. So he goes there and he kills himself. But in the spiritual world, it was said to him that this temporary blindness, because everything, guys, is temporary. Blindness, any mental issue, any physical issue is temporary, only for that period of life, or only for that entire life, because the spirit is eternal. So it was said to him that you have asked to become blind because you were someone who have a relation with someone who was blind before. You were the one who caused the blindness of someone else. You asked for this. If you haven't killed yourself, you would pass through your blindness. Once you would come to the spiritual world, you would have more good points than that. But instead of this, he killed himself. And how many of us who are born with this physical problem, mental or physical problem, we start to blame God, we start to blame life. And on some of us, we committed suicide. We see life as if it was something which does not worth. And that's the main issue that we have to pay attention once we see these physical mental issues, because someone who doesn't know Spiritism or doesn't believe in anything after this life may just say, I'm blind, I cannot walk, I cannot really hear anything, I cannot feel food anymore, I'm gonna kill myself. Why not? Life ends right here. What's the big deal? And the Spirits are saying to us, don't do it. Because once we do this, even if this part here is not talking about suicide, guys, why I'm mentioning suicide here? Because, as we said, some people who have these problems, they may lose their love for life. They may think, let's end everything. What's the point of life? And the point is, that's just a lesson. This lesson is given to you in order to fix something from before, or it's a lesson even if you're not fixing anything from before. It's an issue that you asked in order to improve something else. That's why the Spirit say to us, every incarnation in this level that we are, it's an expiation or it's an atonement. It's a expiation or an atonement. Correct? Uma prova ou como que é que você fala?
Expiation, trial or expiation?
It's a trial or it's an expiation. So, or you must expiate something, or we are passing to a trial. So, once you are in a trial, you want to improve in something. Once you are expiating, you are fixing something. But in the level that we are, everything that we have, physical or mental, comes from these two sources, expiation or from a trial. That's why we should try to see the beauty of things in the most difficult moments, I believe.
Yeah, it is. But please, don't blame your sufferings because you have done something in the past. Please, don't fall in this trap. Because even though sometimes we need to undergo to some trials, and the reason for this is something we did in the previous lives, in most of the cases, not because we have done something in the past, because we're doing the present today, in this present life. And Rihanna saying here, sometimes the most pure spirits come in grave situations, for they can be the example for those around them, or to help people in grave situations. We are not ready for those trials. Exactly. Let's say if we are about to reincarnate, they say, hey, Stevan, do you want to go back to Earth and be a blind guy? Perhaps, probably the answer is no. Think next time. Wait a little bit. No, let me grow a little bit. Let me do more lives here, and we can talk next time. So, yes, Rihanna, and this is the example. This is not just when you come with a physical problem, but in life you will always have someone who lead as an example, like Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, Buddha, Jesus. So we always had people who come here and say, hey guys, let's follow this way, is this way, and we need to pay attention for this. We need to pay attention because if we have someone who are able to do it with the entire Earth population, we do have these, let's call angels in our life. Who are they? So those you feel you can trust. Perhaps you have, perhaps not. If you don't have, look at it closer. Look at closer. Perhaps it's there. You know? Let me see. I think we finished the chapter.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Great. Great, 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 great. We finished the chapter. Next week we start chapter 9. And if you have any questions, guys, please let us know. Meanwhile, I will share my screen here and we can go to the announcements part. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now it's done. I need to share here. Share the screen. Okay. So this Saturday, 7th of August at 4 p.m., where we will have a talk, a special talk with Emmanuel Dutra, and he's gonna say lectures by Leon Denis. This is the project between Buzz and Kardec Radio, Kardec Group, Irish Spiritist Federation. Every month we will have someone talking about Leon Denis. Okay, and this turn it's with our friend Emmanuel Dutra. So you can find this, you can watch this on YouTube or Facebook. So 4 o'clock on 7th of August. Again, what's more in the month of August? Okay, my fail. On the 28th of August, we will have a talk given by Dr. Aulus Cavalieri Carcioff. He's a veterinarian and a spiritist, and he will talk about spiritual questions about animals. So for you want to know what's the mission of these little ones who are here to help us, please join this on Saturday, 28th of August at 4 p.m. This is an event from Buzz. So, let me see more. This Saturday, we do have, this Wednesday, 9 p.m., the Spiritual Light, where to find answers to existential questions. So, this is a good talk. Very difficult to hang on here, but yeah. And we are already working with September. We know with September we have the Yellow September, and this is a topic we need to talk a lot. The suicide, and there is a conference of suicide prevention. Also, again, it's a joint effort between Buzz, Irish Spiritist Federation, Kardec Radio. We will have speakers like Tani Stevanin, Mick Collins, Fernanda Perini, Marina Stigl, and Peter Fenwick. It's on the 11th of September. It's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. London time. Okay? And last but not least, Kardec Group is urging us to watch their insightful speaking and help the communities, poor communities in Brazil. Call it high five. Just go to Grupo Espírito Sheila in Salvador and Mutirão in Curitiba. And that's it.
Steven, I'm going to post here, guys, on our comments that today we have a new video, guys, on our YouTube channel, guys. If you guys can go there and like and watch and subscribe, it's going to help us. That's the Prolegomena, which is after the introduction of the Spirits book. There is this short part called Prolegomena, which means introduction, which is right before the questions. After that, we're going to be starting from question 1. But I recommend you guys to see that, because there is an explanation from Kardec and from the Spirits, why the Spirits book was created with the help of witch spirits. So it's kind of nice to watch the video, guys. Okay.
And also, if you want to join our study group every Wednesday, 8 p.m., Wanderley will put it here. Send an email to spiritismisland@gmail.com, and Tanya or Nate will reply to you with the code, with the link to join this study. It's not a live study, but is open to everyone, and you need the Zoom link in order to attend to this study. Okay? That's it. Let me do the final prayer. Wanderley, anything?
No, I'd say
From your
that's
side?
it.
Okay, so let's once again raise up our thoughts towards our mentors, towards Kardec's radio mentors, towards Ireland and UK, Brazil, United States, Europe, and any other places, spirits who are protecting those places. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for still believing us, despite of any silly mistakes, problems we create, desperation. I urge you to send your blessings for those brothers and sisters who are sick, for those who are suffering from anxiety, thinking about suicide, those who are suffering for the loss of someone, those who are feeling alone. May this prayer reach them and give them courage. Courage to fight, to get out of this situation, to move forward. May these blessings reach you, my friends. May God bless you all. So be it. Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Okie dokie. So, Gabriel, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you. So many thanks. Thanks a million, guys. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Rihanna. Thank you very much. I'll see you. Yeah, thank you, Gabriel. Okay. Have a nice evening. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.